Hey friends, it's time for science today. I need everybody to get out their weather log. You should have it filled out for Tuesday and for Wednesday, and today we're filling it out for Thursday. So let me go look on my weather app on my phone. And let's see what Thursday's weather is going to be. I always put the high. Again, we're doing Azle. A lot of you maybe did where you live, like Springtown or wherever that you live, and that's fine, but you're going to have to figure out your own temperatures. So if you're going with me, you're just copying what I do. So I'm going to look at my daily forecast. Let me turn my brightness down. I'm going to look at my daily forecast, and it says today the high was 64, which is funny because it went up from what we did yesterday. And then Thursday is going to be 62. Okay, so I want you to write 62 degrees Fahrenheit. And then we're going to need some lines right here. We're going to need to put, I'm going to put one more line, clothing and prediction. So yesterday, I did not write this down because I didn't want to give you the answers. But again, I would have worn a jacket because it was kind of chilly. And I would have said, yes, tomorrow is going to be sunny, but cold. Okay, so I want you to describe today's weather. Is it cold? Is it cloudy? Is it sunny? Is it rainy? Is it snowy? How is the weather? So for me, today is sunny. And I'm going to say chilly. Sunny and chilly. I want you to say what kind of clothing you would wear. So every day I've been saying jacket. So today I think I'm going to say long sleeves. And I think I'm going to put pants in there. I would just make sure any kind of warm clothes probably. And my prediction for tomorrow is I think, and the reason I'm going to predict this is because I heard on the radio this morning that this weekend is going to be really windy. So I think I'm going to predict that it's going to be windy. Mainly because I heard it on the radio and that's what their prediction was. So that's my prediction. You can predict whatever you want if you think I'm wrong. That's perfectly fine. I'm wrong all the time. So don't take my word for it. Okay. Excuse me. Now that you have that figured out, I want you to get out a piece of paper and I want you to divide it into 3 columns. At the top, I want you to write K, W, L. We are going to make a KWL chart today, and we're going to do part of the assignment for today is with me. It's the K and the W, and then you're going to do the L on your own, and don't worry, I'm going to tell you what it means. So the K means know. This means want to know, and this means learned. You don't have to write all that out, but you can. As long as you know KWL. So today, I'm going to teach you more about weather, but specifically meteorologists. Can you say meteorologists? Good job. Okay, so right now in the K column, I'm going to draw a line right here just to make it look nicer. In the K column, I want you to write anything you know about meteorologists. If you do not have any clue what a meteorologist is, then I just want you to write, I don't know what a meteorologist is. So if you do know what a meteorologist is, write everything you know about a meteorologist. What is a meteorologist? Where do you see meteorologists? What do the meteorologists help us with? Think about it. This week we're learning about weather, so clearly they have something to do with weather. But what do you know about a meteorologist? So pause the video and write everything you know. So I know that they have something to do with the weather, and I think that they predict the weather. I think maybe they're on the news. I should have said on the news. I think that they predict the weather. I think they're on the news. I think that's really all. What do you want to know about meteorologists? So if you didn't know anything about meteorologists, I want you on the W to write what you want to know. So maybe you can put who some of them are. Maybe you want to know what they do. Maybe you want to know, did they go to college? It literally, guys, anything you want to know about meteorologists. I want you to pause the video and write on want to know. I don't know why I put known here. It's just supposed to say want to know. Okay, so you should be done with this. I'm going to teach you now, and then on the L, you're going to write learned. So after I finish all of my lesson, you're going to write what you learned today. So let's start from the beginning. Again, we're learning about weather and climate. Yesterday, I talked a lot about like air masses and cold air masses and warm air masses. We talked a little bit about cold fronts and warm fronts, but today we're going to talk about meteorology. So meteorology is the study of weather. This involves the measuring of conditions near Earth's surface and high in the atmosphere. Meteorologists identify those air masses, remember that I told you about, and the fronts, the cold fronts and the warm fronts I told you about. And they also predict where they will move. So we are going to actually watch a video together about meteorologists. Okay, so let's get started watching this because on your assignment, there is the L, and you're going to have to tell me what you learned today. So please pay attention.
Well, hi, kids. How are you? I'm meteorologist J.D. Rudd. Welcome into the Weather Center. This is where I work in Kansas City at 41 Action News. I got a couple different things to talk to you about today, mainly about what I do and, of course, about the weather. So are you ready to learn a couple of things? You weren't loud enough. Are you ready to learn a couple of things?
Woo!
Okay, that's more like it. So there's my big giant head. Hi, see, there's two of me now. Let's talk about the weather for a second. The weather can be several different things, kind of like this doggy, right? The weather can be wet. What a cute little pup. What else can the weather be? It can be snowy, and hopefully you're happy when there's snow out there. Have you ever seen 2 feet of snow before? Do you want me to show you 2 feet of snow? Look, there's 2 feet of snow. See, you don't see that around here very much, do you? No, not at all. What else can the weather be? It can be sunny and nice. That's a pretty bright and happy sun. He's bright because he's got sunglasses on and regular glasses. He's smart. He's a smart son. You know what else the weather can be? It can be mean. Yeah, like during tornado season, right? Any of you see any big scary storms? Yeah, they're kind of scary and mean. We don't like scary storms, so hopefully we can keep those away for a while. So let me ask you a question. Do you know what weather is? Weather's what's happening right now. You can look out the window, go outside. You know what's happening? That's the weather. If it's sunny, if it's warm, if it's cold, if it's raining, if it's storming, that's all the weather. And the really neat thing about the weather, we can't control it. It controls us. If you wore shorts today, if you wore a coat today, that's because the weather made you do it. You didn't choose it. You had to because of the weather. Now, I want to talk to you about a couple of things that I do. My job, what is it that I do as a meteorologist on TV? Well, magic. There's a little bit of magic in what I do. It takes a lot of work. I spend a few hours each day working and looking over all kinds of papers and forecast stuff. Do you want to see some of what I do? Okay, here's an example of what I do. Do you like cake? I love cake. Think of cake. Look at all the layers in that cake, right? That's kind of how the atmosphere works, the earth, the air around us, and that's what I study is all the layers that we have in the atmosphere, and that's how we predict the weather. How do we do that exactly? Well, let me show you. You like balloons? We take these big, giant balloons and we send them way up in the sky. And when we do that, we measure the temperature and the air pressure and other things in the atmosphere. That way we can know what the weather's going to do. And we have all kinds of balloons all over the country to help measure the weather high up above us, way up in the sky. Well, what do we do with all that information? Well, it comes back into a computer, and then I do things like this. I look at these charts with all these colors and these lines on there. It's really geeky. It's kind of nerdy. Look, charts like this that tell me where it might rain, charts where it shows me there's a warm front, even big, scary charts like this. Lots of drawing. I do lots of drawing and coloring in my job sometimes. I try to stay within the lines, but not always. What else do? I look at a lot of numbers, a lot of math and science. If you like math or science,
Woohoo!
if you do, maybe you could be a meteorologist someday. There's a lot of numbers that I have to work with. Also, we use things like radar and satellite. You've seen me talk about this on TV before, right? When the clouds are in, that's on the satellite. The radar shows the rain, shows us when it might storm and things like that too. That's one of the ways that we do this is with radar and satellite, one of the many tools that we have. So what happens after I look at all these things, all those layers in my cake? What do? Well, I put it all together and then I sweat and I work at the computer and I type in everything that I can to get ready for the news. Have any of you seen me on the news before? Does your mom or dad watch the news? Can I tell you something? There's magic in this room. Do you want to see some of the magic? This is the boring stuff. Let's go take a look at some of the magic. Let me show you some magic that I have. Look at this over here. This is my magic wall. This big green wall is where I stand. You don't usually see this on TV. We can't show it to you, but let me show you some magic of what happens when I step in front of this wall. Does this kind of look familiar now? Hang on, let me go back. Let me go back real quick. See, there's no map behind me. It's a magic green wall, but do you know what I can do in front of this wall? I can write things on this wall. Like I can say, hi, kids. I could put some funny pictures up on the wall, like this guy that's huffing and puffing. He's just really windy, kind of like me. Ask your mom or your dad. So that's my magic green wall. Do you want to see the magic green wall one more time? Let's go look at the magic green wall one more time. There it is. See, there's my magic green wall. Most of where I work is inside this magic green wall. So yeah, you'll see me over here sometimes, but a lot of my time is at the magic green wall. It's so much fun. And that's one of the ways that we use to tell you about the weather. We look at all the information and we write it all down and we put it on our computer and then we forecast it on TV for just a couple of minutes. Hopefully, maybe you learned a little something and maybe one of these days you can come check out my magic green wall. Thank you so much for watching the video. I'm very happy to be in your classroom and I hope you have...
Okay, guys. So I hope you learned a little bit about meteorologists because that's the video we just watched. So on your KWL chart, you already wrote down what you know. You wrote down what you wanted to know. And then you are going to now fill out the learned column by yourself. So this meteorologist, his name's J.D. Rudd, he told you so many things about what you could have learned. So I want you at least to write, let me show you, 3 things, 1, 2, 3, about what you learned today about meteorologists. All right, guys, I love y'all so much. Remember, write 3 things that you learned about meteorologists on the L part of your chart. And then I want you to take a picture and turn it in. All right, friends, I love y'all so much. I hope that you learned so much about meteorologists and you have a great day.